Hey everybody, this is Cheri Dotterer of The Writing Glitch. Today we're doing a product review on Learning Without Tears products. Last week we talked with Christina Bretz. She is an educator at Learning Without Tears. But before we begin, let's take a word from our sponsor. At Disability Labs, we are committed to impact the journey of 20,000 teachers by 2030 so they can reignite their passion for learning. Our professional development series focuses on math and writing strategies to help all students in your classroom. These interventions improve students with and without disabilities. All students have access to mathematics and writing skills. We have an ebook about the pizza problem available for $14.95. See the show notes for details. What's about the pizza problem? It teaches you the concepts of squares. Whether you're a teacher, an occupational therapist, or a parent, this math problem uses vision to develop conceptual knowledge. For students from kindergarten through 12th grade, we increase the complexity using this same problem to improve number sense. Now, let's get on with that product review. Last week, we talked to Christina Bretz from Learning Without Tears. I recommend During that interview, I stated that I took the 2008 version of their course. This is what Get Set for School looks like on the outside. As we open the book, we have a welcome from the authors, an introduction for Get Set for School. We have the alphabet, and we have this page that has fireflies and stars on it. And the purpose of the fireflies and stars are for the students to color in and stay within the lines, within the dot. I've used this with some kids who struggle with fine motor skills, and they have a difficult time staying in the little bit of a circle there. But the kids absolutely love it. It's engaging. Here's another couple of them. Then we talk a little bit about shapes before we ever start the alphabet, so the kids are clearly understanding their shapes. Then we get into the alphabet. They start with capitals first. They're mimicking some of the other materials that they have here with the chalkboard. They tell you where to start with the line. They have insects, turtle. Here they have an otter, and they talk about which way the O is supposed to go. And here we are matching the lowercase. And here are the numbers at the end of the book. In the very last page of the book, we have a summary of how you're supposed to write the letters with the directions included. My print book is where you move on to first grade. You see the spacing of their lines are the same. We have a table of contents. We have details on how the book is set up. And then we get started. We review the uppercase letters. We move on to lowercase. And they're grouped by developmental motion. You notice there's not much on a page. There's the sample, there's the practice, there's a sentence with an image that is related to that picture. Farther back in the book, they start to bring sentences together. Now, back in 2008, these sentences were not structured literacy. And then they end the book with the alphabet, and they also include the song, Where Do You Start Your Letters at the top? I'll be brave. Where do you start your letters at the top? Where do you start your letters at the top? If you want to start a letter, then you better remember to start it at the top. Then they move on to cursive. If you notice, the cursive line is a little bit more narrow. Let's start at the beginning. They start out with a letter to the student from Jan Olson, written in cursive. They have a table of contents as to where the letters are laid out. Go through, see, we look at one of the letters. It's very much the same, laid out the same way as the print. As we move on in the book, we have tow truck letters and we have words and then we have sentences to copy. And then at the very end, they have a sample with the directions on how you're supposed to make the letters. Now, that was their copies. When I was talking to them at the International Dyslexia Association last year, I was asking them how are they integrating into structured literacy? Last week we mentioned it, Phonics and Me, Learning Without Tears. This is a sample of one of their units. It starts out, they have a theme. So the unit theme is these pictures that we showed last week. You show them these pictures on the back. There's a story, there's before reading, during reading, and after reading. And all of the parts of the story are aligned with the science of reading. This expands on what you're supposed to do within the lesson. The lesson is it's one piece of paper. It's the lesson. It's one piece of paper. This is just an expansion of it. You can see on here, I'm trying to get this a little closer to the webcam. There is some resource that connects responsive writing. So there's writing involved. I don't have the samples to share what that looks like. They also have the Science of Reading books, which we mentioned last week in the interview. On the back, they have these words to watch, and you could utilize those as practice words, which are aligned with the Science of Reading. So as you're doing your lesson with them and you're practicing writing, you can utilize the words on the back of this book. If you've got a lower level student, Sam and the Sun is a little bit more simple. It aligns with Matman. And again, on the back, they have words that are aligned with the science of reading. So you can utilize those words to create sentences, or you could have them copy one of these sentences that are in the front of the book. Thank you so much, Learning Without Tears, for being willing to share your product here on The Writing Glitch. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you for your time, Dr. Bretz, and thank you for your products. Listeners, you were put here for such a time as this. Go be awesome, go be brilliant. Teach those struggling students with the strategies you learn here.